Good evening, everyone. Today we are running late, so I've just been rushing from one thing to another, but it's one of those days, you know. So today's topic is going to be about relationships. So I'm sure that everybody is curious about relationships and everybody, wants to know more about it, and it might be a very emerging topic for you. So we're going to explore this a little bit further, and where does the problems for our relationship comes from, and what normally we do when we have a problem with our partner. So I will speak from my experience because when I'm working with clients, very often they're when they come to me and I just say, oh, for example, what is the problem, what is the issue that you want to work on today, and then they start complaining about their partner. Oh, my partner haven't been hearing me what I want, and then I ask them, okay, but tell me a little bit about the relationship between you and your parents. Tell me a little bit about your birth family. And normally I am always with the face of confusion. They're very confused, looking at me like, what are you talking about? What is that going to do with my partner? Well, it has to do a lot with your partner. And the first thing is, I'm gonna ask you to, I hope you have prepared pen and paper, and we're gonna do a meditation at the end. And of course, we've done this challenge for everybody who is sharing the video is going to receive a free session with me. So you have to share the video every day until the end of the challenge. So I've got 10 days challenge, but you guys have a little bit less than that, but that's fine. What is the relationship between you and your mom, and what is the relationship between you and your dad? So if you go for a scale from 1 to 10, for example, where are you gonna place the relationship with your parents? How do you feel towards them? Maybe towards your mom you feel 5, or maybe if you don't have a good relationship, it's 0, 1. If it's 0, that's quite bad. It's good to work on it, and you might be still frozen into a trauma of being expecting from her more. You're still in a child position, and when we are like this, very often we are meeting our partner not from an equal position. So sometimes it could be from the position of if we have a big age difference. That could be maybe you're expecting from your father, from your partner to be your father, or from your girlfriend to be your mother, and like this we're end up with the relationship, because we can't really be attracted to the person if we see them as our parents, and if they really become our parents, if they really take care of us as children. Because if we're acting like one, what's gonna happen and how it's gonna be. So what is the relationship between you and them? So how do you feel about them? This is the question. How do you feel about them? Because when we work on these things, this is our personal therapy. It's not something that we're gonna have to go and tell them, oh, you hurt me about this, you did this, you did that. No, this is our personal experience that we had, because how we pursue things, this is down to us. And I strongly believe, I strongly believe that we are choosing our parents. Before our soul comes down to this family, we're choosing the whole family system, the whole generation, and our parents as well, because we need this certain experience. Our soul needs this experience to have in order to evolve, in order to grow, right? So what is the relationship between you and your father? And also when we are looking at male and female, normally the people who are the men in our life are representative of our father, and the women in our life are representative of our mother. So if we have something unresolved with them, we're gonna project them on the people around us. And for example, we're very angry at our mother, and we're gonna have lots of problems with our friends, female friends. And if we're angry with our father, we might have lots of problems with our partner, or the male in our family. Or we have a good relationship with the male, we have a good relationship with our father, and then we have a good relationship with the males around us and with our partner. And also I want to ask you, who are you considered as? Are you mommy's girl or mommy's boy, or are you daddy's girl or daddy's boy? You can comment in the you know, in here and let me know. And that's very interesting, because sometimes when we are, you know, for example, daddy's girl, and you know, we are expecting from our parents to sorry, I'm getting confused, from our partners to treat us as parents. So to take care of us like them, to love us unconditionally. But actually relationships are conditioned, you know. We have lots of conditions in to be able to evolve this relationship, to be able to go into a relationship, to be able to you know, to create it and build it and everything. So we need to do something about it, because very often people are creating this plan of, okay, so I meet this person, you know, we're gonna get engaged, we're gonna get married, we're gonna have kids, and that's the end of it. That's where it ends up, because people don't create, actually after that, they don't create a plan. What's gonna happen after, you know, that's not the end of it. You know, you might have, you know, you want to live a lifetime with this person. And I don't know, guys, if you know about these vision boards. It's really important to have your own vision board, because you're a separate person, and then to have the vision board together. And it's very important to agree on what you're gonna achieve in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. So you can review this from time to time, just to check if you're still on the same page, because, you know, we are evolving, we are, you know, we are changing, we are doing things, we're doing therapy on us, we, you know, we work on ourselves, and it's really important to do that. So also, what does it mean for you, a family? Is it a resource of pain? Is it a resource of happiness? Is it a resource of you know, of bad memories? What does a family represent to you, your birth family? How do you pursue your family? So if you can think about that, if you can, you know, reflect on it somehow. And also, what is it for you to be in a relationship? Is it very, you know, does it take all of your freedom? You know, does it mean that you need to take care of somebody? Does it mean that you need to give all of yourself, and you have to sacrifice the things that you like doing because you have to be with somebody else? What is it for you to be in a relationship? How does it feel, you know? Or maybe it brings you lots of joy, it brings you lots of happiness. Are you a person who is depending on somebody else? Can you stay on your own? You know, that's a very good thing that we can work on it, you know. Sometimes people, they are very dependent on other people, and they expect from them too much. They can't stay on their own, and in this way they are actually you know, they're pushing away the people around them, you know. So that's very important also to reflect. So what kind of repetitive patterns do you have in your love relationship and love life? So do you have something that keeps on repeating, right? Do you always attract the same kind of partners? Do you always end up, you know, always dumped, you know, maybe they dumped you? Does always, you know, the partner next to you is without, maybe it ends up without a job. Maybe this person has an affair with somebody else. There's always somebody cheats on you. So what is happening there? So when we have a repetitive pattern, that means that the system is trying to identify something, is trying to show us something. And if we look at it, then we're able to deal with it, we're able to remove it and to free ourselves out of it. Otherwise, we're going to keep on attracting the same thing, the same situation, and it's going to keep on repeating over and over and over and over again. And also, what kind of repetitive patterns have you taken over from your mom and dad's relationship? So, for example, they were fighting a lot, and you are doing exactly the same thing. You fight a lot with your partner, and you know, and you don't know how to free yourself out of this, you know, because when we have these things, that means that we are either entangled with our parents or with certain story, or we are too loyal to them. And I've been talking about this loyalty in my other videos, so if you have a look at them as well, that will be very helpful for you, and will clarify a lot more of what I'm talking about, because we're doing a series of videos, and so it's my 4th day. And of course, if you share the video, you're going to be able to win a free session with me. So this is going to be your gift. Since yesterday we announced that, and we're going to give it to somebody until the end. So if you share each video every day somewhere, you are able to win a free session with me. So we're gonna count at the end who was this person who was sharing the videos the most. So yes, so let's do an exercise. I hope that you guys have a piece of paper around you and a pen. and then we can do a column, like a timetable. We can do 3 columns, and we can do, in the first one, we can write positive. In the second one, we write negative, and in the third one, we write transformation. And above, we write my mom is. So, and we write 3 things, 3 traits that our mom has. So, for example, she's very, she knows how to look after herself. She's a very good friend, and then she's very responsible. So we write 3 positive things about your mom. And then we go to the negative. So let's say she's very controlling, she's very emotional, she's too judgmental. Okay? And then when we write this, maybe you can just, 3 things that pop up in your head straight away. And if you want to share them with me in the comments, that would be great, because you're gonna help me out, to have more ideas. And then where you wrote my mom is, you can cross this over and you can write I am. Okay? And then read them again. I am. And if you're a woman, this is for you, this is for you. I am. If you're a man, the women in my life are. And then you look. And then you read them. And then you'll be able to recognize. And very often the negative things that we are actually judging our parents, either we have them exactly the same, and it's hard for us to believe, or we have them the opposite. So for example, our mom is very controlling and we're opposite. We just give lots of freedom, right? But we're still framed, we are not able to release our authenticity. We cannot show who we really are. But sometimes giving more freedom, we can actually like this, and it's okay. So and then in the transformation, in the 3rd column, we can transform just the negative parts, because the positive, they're all good, but the negative one, who we are to judge, As I said, we are choosing our parents. Our soul chooses our parents, and if we come from this philosophy, then we go down to our parents are the best parents for me, and I'm the best child for them. End of story. And when we are judging our parents, that means that we are still frozen into a child position, child trauma or something like that, and we are still judging our parents. We think that they could have been better parents, and we need to accept and realize that they have been the best parents for us. They did enough for us, and that's how much we've received. And if we are actually still judging them, we're our life source, our life's energy is leaking out. So instead of having your full energy, your full capacity to look towards your future and to be able to see and to be able to do your things and to find your mission and to attract your love partner and things like that, you're looking backwards towards your parents, and you're still like, oh, I'm expecting more, I'm waiting, hi, I'm here. I'm just acting it out in a funny way, because it's a topic which is very heavy, but if we see it through these lenses, it's going to be a lot easier for us in our life. So if our mother is very controlling, then she can take responsibilities, because the person who wants to control, this person takes responsibility, and this is a positive thing, right? And then if our mother is very emotional, maybe we're emotional too. Maybe we are non-emotional because we don't want to be like her, right? And then she is allowing herself to show emotions, and this is a good thing, right? So she is allowing herself to show emotions, because very often people are ashamed to show weaknesses, to show emotions, to cry, to be vulnerable and things like that. So this is actually a good thing. Then she's too judgmental. Well, she has an opinion, and she's not afraid to share her opinion. So this is still a good thing. Then we go and we do a second, it looks like this. I've done it in the other thing, in the other video. So we do it like that, and we do it in 3, and we write positive, negative, transformation. And then for the father, positive, negative, transformation. And we write above, my dad is. And of course, if you're a man or a woman, for your father, and then we're gonna transform them, and I'm gonna tell you when you cross this over, what to write. So let's say my father is a very good cook, he's very caring, he's a very good friend. So What is the negative side of him? Maybe he wasn't really there. He was, he was constantly away. Maybe he was too controlling. Maybe he was a person who would always, what's the word? He would always want to be as he says. Like, he has an opinion for everything, and he wants to make everybody to be, to have the same opinion as him. He's not going to move away from his opinion. And he's very, maybe he's exploding a lot, he's a very explosive person. So what is, if you cross over there, if you cross the above and you cross my dad is, and then you do I am if you're a man, and the men in my life are if you're a woman, then you read again. And then very good cook, very good friend, and very caring. Or the negative. He's constantly away, he's too controlling, he always wants to be as he says. He can, he can force his opinion on others, and he's very explosive. So, and we transform this. When he is, constantly away, he gives you freedom, right? Or maybe your father and your mother has, separated when you were a child, and then you just had the freedom, maybe other children, they were very restricted and everything, but you had the freedom, right? So then he's very controlling. He is able to take responsibility, and this is a good thing. And then he, he is trying to convince everybody in his opinion. He is a person who knows how to stand behind his opinion. He has an opinion. He's not somebody who will be like, oh, whatever, Normally these people are very much like, oh, whatever, and they don't want to take responsibility. Or maybe he's too explosive. He knows how to express his anger. He's not afraid to express his anger. So this is still a good thing, a good positive thing. So, right, I hope that was eye-opening for you. Relationships are always very interesting topic to talk about. And also, another thing I wanted to mention is the languages of love. Do you know what is your language of love? How do you know and how do you understand that you are loved? Is it by being taken care of? Is it by presents? Somebody gives you a present. Is it by somebody, spending quality time with your partner? And what is the love language of your partner? So, this is something that we can learn. It's not it isn't something that we are something that we're just born already know. Some people know it, some don't. This is something that we can learn, and we can adjust ourselves towards the love of our partner, instead of like judging and always being in fight with them. Oh, you always want me to do this and that. Oh, you always want me to do this and that. It's good to accept it and to realize that this is the way how they know they've been loved, and that's nothing wrong with that. Also, as a woman, be aware that it's very important to lower your ego. Very often couples are actually fighting because they want to be right, because they put their ego ahead and it's too big and things like that, and this is not healthy. It's not healthy for the relationship. We as women, our nature is to be more softer, to be more accepting, to be more supportive and things like that. So be aware of this too. Sometimes not to always I want to be right. No, I want to be right. No, I'm right. You are right. Sometimes even when you're wrong, you can just say I'm sorry. And the three most important thing is I'm sorry, thank you, and I love you. So these three things tell each other more often. Okay? And if you're ready for the meditation, you can sit down comfortably and uncross your legs, your arms, and let's do a meditation for relationships. And you can close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. And feel your legs on the ground. Feel the chair. And feel how this chair is supporting you. And from there, you can imagine seeing your partner. Maybe you already have your partner or your husband or your boyfriend or your fiance. Or maybe you want to attract one. So you imagine, maybe you cannot see him, but you can feel his energy. You know how he feels like. And you can just stand in front of him and you can say, I see you. And you can say, I'm here for you. And I would recommend if you are able to say this out loud. If you can't at the moment, you can still say it in your head, but preferably say it. And you can say, I bow at the strength you have. And you can also say, see me, that's me. And just see behind him his father, and behind him his father, and 7 generations of strong men. And see how your partner, boyfriend, husband is just, standing up, getting a bit, stronger. And you're able to see him a bit more clearly. And from there, you can turn your head and you can see your mom and your dad. And you can look at them, you can see their love. And you have come from that love. And just remember that feeling, keep it into your heart. Maybe as you were growing up, your parents didn't stay together, or maybe they were fighting a lot, or maybe things weren't always perfect. But in the beginning, they loved each other. And you came out of this love. And you can just say, Mom, Dad, thank you for the life you gave me. I take it from you. And I can see how much it cost you. And thank you for giving me life. And just look at your dad and see how he's looking at your mom with love. And how your mom looks at your dad with love. And you can see behind your dad his parents, your grandparents. And behind your mom, her parents, your grandparents. And just see how slowly are appearing, couple by couple, behind each other, 7 generations back. And just look at all of those people. And let's include all the people who have impacted your family. Not only your bloodline, but people who have impacted your family. So maybe you had stories in your family where somebody was forced to marry somebody else and they didn't want to. Maybe somebody have lost their loved ones in early stage. Maybe somebody fell in love and they couldn't be together. Or maybe somebody had an affair. Or maybe somebody had an affair and they had a child out of this affair, out of this love. And it might be a bit hard for you to look at them, but try to look at them. And you can just see and you can say, I see you all. I see you suffering. And all of you have place in my heart. And you can say, please look at me with good eyes, and please bless me to be a little bit happier than you were, to have a bit of happier family than you had, and to be able to carry on the generation, to carry on the whole family, the family line. And you can bow in front of them, in front of their strength. And you can turn your back towards them, feeling the support and the energy behind you from your parents and from the whole family. And you can welcome your partner, husband, or your wife. And if you're a woman, you have your dad on your right and your mom on your left, and your partner is standing on your right side. And if you're a man, you have your dad on your right, your mom on your left, and the woman is standing on your left side. And you can welcome your children, or you can welcome the future. You can welcome your new home, or maybe the house you have, the life you share together. You can see the path ahead. You can feel the warmth of the sun shining on your skin. Maybe you take hands, you hold hands, and you make a step ahead. And maybe you walk slowly through the future, happily together. Take a deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, come back here, open your eyes, move your hands, your legs. And I would love if you guys shared with me what was your experience of doing that meditation and listening to all that. And something else I forgot to mention is our past relationship with ex-partners. So this is something, a very interesting topic that people are normally not looking at. And it's very important to energetically separate ourselves from past relationships, because sometimes that could be the blockage that is blocking us to attract a partner. That could be the blockage that is actually preventing us from having a very good relationship. And if we have a lot of anger towards an ex-partner and something that we haven't cleared, we haven't separated us energetically, we might be projecting this on the partner we have at the moment. So no matter where you are, if you are in a relationship, or if you want to attract a partner, or if you want to strengthen your relationship or something like that, it will be good to separate yourself from ex-partners. And of course, if you want to do that, you can book your session with me. We can do that into one-to-one session and separate yourself from ex-partners. Also, if you keep on thinking about them, if you dream about them and things like that, this is an absolute sign that you have something to clear there. And also all the female illnesses and things like that, this is a sign that we have lots of anger towards the male, or towards ex-partners, or towards our father. So I thought that was quite important to share and for you to know. And if you want, you can share this video with other people to be informed, and you will be able to win a session with me, a free session. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.